Hi, I'm Wanda from Melinda Craft and this is our Quilt Blocks channel, and today we're going to show you a super easy quilt block. It's called the Homeward Bound, and so let's get started and show you what to do. So what you're going to need are two contrasting fabrics, and we're going to cut two 5.5-inch squares, so one of each colour, and two 6-inch squares, one in each colour. Now these are going to be, the 5.5-inch squares are going to be our corner pieces, and we're going to make our half square triangles from our 6-inch pieces. So if you need to know more about making half square triangles, by all means go and check out our video. We'll put a link in the description below. But what we do is we take the two pieces, we take one piece and lay it on top of the other, right sides together, and then we're going to draw a diagonal line from point to point down here, and then what we'll do is we'll use that as a cutting line, so it's going to be a guide for our cutting. So just make sure we go from point to point. Okay, so now what we'll do is we'll sew 1/4 inch in from that line. Sorry, that didn't work very well, but you get the idea. It's just diagonal. So we'll sew 1/4 inch on either side. Then when we come back, what we'll do is we'll cut down our drawn line, and that'll be our half square triangles. Okay, so now I've sewn on either side of my drawn line, as you can see down here, and now I'm just going to line that up on that line, and I'm going to cut. And there we are, I have my half square triangles. I'm now going to press those open, and then we'll come back. Now when you're pressing your half square triangles, you need to set the seam. So you take the dark fabric and you iron on that side. So you just press the seam just to set it, so that when you open it, the seam has a tendency to want to lean towards that side, and that's what you want. So now we just take it and just give it a little tug, nothing too drastic, and we're just going to press that seam to that green side. So just pressing it down. And once we've pressed, what we need to do is to straighten our block. So we want to make it 5.5 inches. So what I'm going to do is I'll bring my ruler over, and I'm going to place the 45-degree line on the seam line. Okay, just move that around a little bit, and I just want to leave a little bit showing at the side and the bottom here at the 5.5-inch mark. So there won't be a great deal to trim off here. Just making sure that's nice and sturdy on that line, and we'll just give that a nice trim. Okay, and across the top. As I say, there won't be a lot to trim off, but just tidying it up. And now we're going to flip our block right round and do exactly the same thing. But this time we're going to make sure that the 5.5-inch line measures up along the bottom and up the side. And we're also going to make sure that we have our 45-degree angle line on the seam. So we have a little bit more to trim up this time. And there we go. So we have our block all beautifully trimmed. So I'll go and do the other one, and then we'll show you what to do next. And what we're going to do now is we're going to position our squares of fabric. So we put one half square triangle here and one solid colour of the green, or the same here, and then we bring the other solid colour down here, and we pop that other half square triangle in there. So that's our homeward bound block, or it looks like an arrow as well, so whatever you like to call it. But now we're going to sew it together. So to do that, we'll take that piece and lay it on top of here, sew it down with a 1/4 inch seam. We'll do the same with that piece, sew it down there, and I'll go and do that now, and then I'll come and show you how to finish it. Okay, so I've sewn my squares together and I've pressed them. Now you'll just take note here that I've pressed to the solid side, so to the main plain piece of material. And the same here, so that one's pressed towards the green, this one's pressed towards the yellow. And so now what we're going to do is going to place one on top of the other and sew them together with a 1/4 inch seam. And because of how we've pressed the seams, you'll see that they'll nest nicely together to make a nice join. So I'll go and do that now. Now we press this final seam open, so you can see that on the back there, but there's our block finished. Now these are great, and what we'll do is we'll have some ideas on the website, some pattern ideas for you of how you can make a quilt using these blocks and how gorgeous they'll look. Because you can put them together with some sashing, or you can just join them together, and look, you can even got the start of a star here, so another two and you have a beautiful star. So if you've enjoyed this tutorial, give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel, not or, and subscribe to our channel, and leave us a comment on the website.